to my video about thesis statements. You can thank Grant for that wonderful introduction. Thank you, Grant, so much for making that for me. Wasn't it horrifying? All right, so you should be on page 119 in your packet. 119. So that's where we discuss the thesis statements. Because remember that your paper is the paragraph that you're writing is going to be taken from a larger paper. And so you need to have a thesis statement to show me that you're planning this paper. The purpose of this assignment is to get you into the habit of planning what you're going to say before you actually sit down and start saying it, particularly in preparation for the next assignment, which is going to be a full paper. So you need to practice good thesis statements before you actually start writing your paper. So take a look on page 119. On page 119. So this is where we're talking about thesis statements, and it's going to be using the SAS article, Ben Sass's article, to kind of like see to use as an example. Okay, so there are some elements. I'm looking at the top, and keep in mind that I also took this. I actually asked for permission from this professor, like, can I use this? And so this is what she hands out to her students. So this is college level material that we're working with here. All right. So taking a look, there are elements of thesis statements that you know should be true. All right, that you know are to be true. That they are complete sentences. All right. Keep that in mind. It's never like a thought. So if I ask you what your thesis statement is, you never say, "Oh, my thesis statement is bikes." Oh, that's not a thesis. That's a topic, and it is also never a question. What have you ever thought about bikes? That's not a thesis, and that's actually a very terrible introduction as well. So it's a complete thought, and it's not a question. So your thesis statement is also something that's supported by evidence. So the thesis statement is a result of the evidence that you have and so it is a culmination of the research that you have done that you are going to be presenting. Okay, so your thesis statement is an argument that you are presenting to your audience based on research that you have done. You know, the topics that you write, they're becoming more complex, right? Even throughout your high school career. And you want to what we're doing is we're reviewing thesis statements. We're familiarizing ourselves with poopy thesis statements. So this packet what we're doing here, this is a reminder of this is the bad thesis statements. And I'm going to show you how the thesis statements can get better. Okay, so there are generally 5 ways that a thesis statement can be bad, and what I'm about to show you is not an exhaustive list. So those 5 things are not the only 5 ways thesis statements can be poop-tastic. It's just a way to show you these are the 5 most common things that are done in our writing. So just being aware. And, you know, like number 4 and 5 on this list aren't necessarily bad. They're just not good for this course. Okay? So 4 and 5 are not necessarily bad. They're just problematic for what we're doing in this class. All right? So the next couple videos are going to be just just ways for you to look at the different types of poopy thesis statements and how to make them better.